And if you have a girlfriend who is single, because I'm married, I am not, give her a hug. Give her a hug. No, I'm going to cry. Thank you for you're hugging me. I didn't hug you. Oh, I love you so much. I love you too.
Ever wondered what a conversation between me and my bestie sounds like? At least an informal conversation? Today, I'm joined by my best friend, Janet Zavala. We're diving into a heartfelt discussion about the power of support systems in midlife, right from the beautiful, sunny Southern California. Here's a little secret. Janet shared meditation is her favorite way to center herself. But you have to leave no stone unturned to figure out how to live your best life. Stick around as we explore how these small daily steps lead to monumental changes. And trust me, by the end of our chat, you'll be rethinking how you approach your own journey.
So what's it like to be a life coach? I love talking to people and helping them break through what they're going through, break it down, try to resolve it, and then set goals to achieve what they want to achieve.
Tell me something.
How did you reach the point to where you were able to overcome whatever obstacles were standing in your way and achieve those goals to where now you're able to help people? I spent a lot of time researching and trying to figure out what works for me, because you can look out there and there are a million different things that you can do to try and heal and grow and learn. And you've got to find the thing that works for you. So just trying different things, trying different modalities. Meditation is always my favorite, just to kind of center yourself, to get you into the space where you can start healing. But I think that you have to try everything. You have to leave no stone unturned to try to figure out how to live your best life, because we are meant to live our best lives. And so you just need to keep on trying and then being consistent about it. Keep on going back to it. Small steps every day, done consistently, will get you to where you want to go.
Mm-hmm. What about,
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Tell me why you started this podcast.
Why did I start this podcast? I started this podcast because being a woman in midlife can be a very lonely place to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might have your family, you might be rich with people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even though you're rich with these people, there's still that feeling inside of loneliness. Because there's so much going on personally, professionally, so many things biologically that are changing. And it's hard to explain or express yourself, because being a woman, people might say, well, she's such a whiner. And you feel like you're misunderstood. And so just being able to have somebody out there that understands you, at least in my opinion, it's just worth so much.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more with everything you said. I think that there's this strong desire for more meaning and more purpose in your life, and to do different things and to find that fulfillment. But I want people to understand, it's not that you didn't enjoy what you did in the first part of your life. It's not like you didn't find fulfillment in having a family or raising kids, but now you're like, okay, what else is there? I have so much to offer. I think that when we deplete ourselves, giving to everybody else, which again is perfectly wonderful and fulfilling, but then there comes a time when you're like, okay, what about me? What do I like? Because you're focusing on everybody else's passions, everybody else's loves, and everybody else's lives, and fixing things and doing the things. But then you find like, okay, well, what about me? And you're like, I want to do something for me.
Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of women in midlife, what we find is that saying, I want to do something for me, because we have given so much
of ourselves can sort of seem that you're being a little selfish. And it's not that you're being selfish.
No.
You're just, for the first time in some of us in 50 years, we're saying it's my turn.
Yeah.
And it's not selfish. It's
No.
you're refreshing yourself.
That's right.
You're polishing yourself up.
That's
And the amazing thing about going through that right now, Janet, is that we're so much stronger. We're so much more wiser.
Yeah.
And there's so much endless possibilities of what we can accomplish in this particular stage of our life. And I think that, you and I do what we do. We are providing women with the tools and the knowledge to move to that next level.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But let's talk about like having that tribe, because I think that, we met through a friend and it's just been kind of love at first sight. We have been like bonded ever since. And, our daily text, and for a while we both had a bunch of things going on and we fell off, and it's like, I missed my bestie. I miss her. It's that, connection and that understanding. So talk about like what the importance is of having your tribe, finding your tribe, and then having it to support you through this time.
Janet, I will be very honest with you. Having that person, either one person or three people, whatever that community fits for your needs.
Right.
For me, right now where I'm at in my life, that one-on-one type of thing. Well, so rich. It's so empowering to know that there is somebody out there on, maybe on the other side of the earth or the other side of the world. I'm very fortunate that my bestie is, what is
on the other side
of
California?
On the other side of Southern California. I'm in Northern California.
Yeah.
It's just, 1 hour flight away. But it's just, gives me power. When I feel down and, like the world has just given me a real good beating, sending you that text just lifts me up and lets me know that, hey, it's okay. You can do it. You can do it. Girl power, you got this.
Yeah.
And
Got this, or take a break, or you did it. Congratulations. Yeah.
heck, or even like the small little tiny wins, when someone sends me a message either on TikTok or on Instagram or YouTube and says, hey, did you hear this?
Yeah.
I might send you a message and say, hey, Janet, I got a heart. Hey, Janet, I got, somebody sent me a message and here's my cheerleader saying, yay, way to go. Go girl.
Yeah.
It might be small, but it's that cheerleader that I needed to
That's
just
right.
say, hey, keep going.
That's right.
Or when I'm down in the dirt and just saying, oh man, life is giving me a real good beating.
Yeah.
It's just like, you might be, in Southern California and I'm in Northern California, but I just feel like you're just lifting me right up, saying, hey girl, it's okay. It's part of life. It's part of growing. You went through this, in your younger years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're going to go through it again.
Yeah.
It's empowering. I strongly recommend that any woman out there needs to find that tribe, that person, that one, or some of us need several people.
Right. Absolutely. And how do we find those people? How do we find those people?
You know how you find those people, Janet? You got to be vulnerable.
Yeah. You got to open up.
You got to open up, even though, maybe a lot of us are introverts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I'm an extrovert. You're an introvert.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of vulnerability to reach out to that person and say, hey, how you doing?
Right. Yeah.
Even when you don't really want to ask that person how they're doing because you feel miserable and you want to just hide under the covers and just cry.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I don't reach out to people because I'm like, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to intrude. I don't want to take anything away from them. But I find that when I do reach out, it's needed and I need it. And we need that exchange of energy.
Yeah. And, I had a woman reach out to me on TikTok when I did the episode where I dedicated it to my bestie. She just said that she talked about working from home, and she talked about how difficult, how do you make friends, especially where she's no longer in the office. She's working from home. Yeah. And so she's in her home. How do you make friends? And I gave her an answer, and she came back and said, yes, but how do you make friends? And so I reached out to her, and I just said, I said, you need to be vulnerable. You need to connect with people. You need to talk, join different Facebook groups or Instagrams or just different groups out there, and find that person that has that common, you common interest or something with you. And say hi. Ask a coworker, even though you're working virtually, ask a coworker that lives in the same town as you. Ask them out for coffee. Right. And what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to say no. Yeah. Think they're going to remember, hey, Shannon asked me out for coffee. I should take her up on.
Yeah. And you never know, that person who you ask, has been wanting that connection as well, has been wanting to have somebody to talk to. So, you never know whose life you can touch when you do that. I think also following your passions and your curiosity. So if you enjoy photography, go do a meetup group where you go out and take pictures and you meet people with common interest, or take a class, or explore things that you're interested in and you're curious about, because that's where your people will be.
And I think that a lot of times, a lot of us are kind of reluctant to do this. But if, for example, if I like your books, I'd say, hey, Janet, I like last year.
Yeah.
Even things as simple as that creates conversation. And what can you expect from conversations? Friendships to blossom.
That's right.
Maybe not friendships right away.
That's right. And practice, because like you said, not every compliment is going to turn into a friendship. But if you have a hard time doing it, practice. In the grocery store, smile at somebody. Oh, don't be creepy about it. But don't be creepy. But, just get into the practice of talking, because I am really an introvert and I don't like small talk, and I had a hard time, and, it's a thing with me. But when I have those connections, they go deep. So, even if you're an introvert, you can do it. You can build those relationships.
Yeah. And I think that in today's world, we kind of become those type of people that rely on scrolling on social media and fantasizing what you see on social media. Oh, I wish I had that, or I wish I had that kind of life and stuff. And so I think that we become more technical savvy, and I hate saying this because I'm a big tech geek, and you are, but I'm real tech support. But you still need to have that human connection.
Absolutely.
You have to have it. And, start getting into the practice of complimenting people.
Yeah, so good.
Smiling. Even you don't want to truly smile. There's so much power that comes into your physical being when you smile. When you smile at someone else, it's infectious.
Absolutely. It's an exchange of energy. And, in this world that we're living in, we need more of that positive exchange of energy right now.
And, and sometimes, if I did say, Janet, I love your blouse, I may not know what's going on in your life, and maybe you're feeling down, but that's a compliment. Right. And all of a sudden, you have this uplifting feeling inside you. And people remember that. They'll say, hey, you know what? Janet, I think that's her name, Janet. I saw her at the grocery store, or I saw her at such and such place. She made me feel so good. They may not remember what you did that made them feel good, but they know that you made them.
That's right.
And so I think that we need to practice that a little bit more.
I love that.
And I think that if we did that, we could build greater friendships where they don't exist.
That's right. If you're a woman in midlife, I think we should have a challenge where, go out and this week and smile and say hi to at least 3 people. Build that connection. Start practicing.
Or if you can't do that, start with smiling. Yeah. Just smile. And then once you're a little more comfortable with the smiling part, you're saying good morning, good afternoon, or ask people, how are you doing today?
That's right.
But generally, really, 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 and truly, you really want to know, how are you doing today?
Well, yeah.
And if you have a girlfriend who is single, because I'm married,
I am not.
give her a hug. Give her a hug. Yes. Because I will tell you, I was single for 21 years before I got married. And it can be a lonely place. And we, as single women, don't get very much hugs. And we need that connection.
That's right.
Sweet, innocent connection of, okay, value your friendship. I love you. And it's a real hug.
That's right.
Just a hug.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so important, that human connection and that human touch, based on your needs and your desires and your wants and your personality. But yeah, I think it's so important.
Yeah. All right.
I love getting to talk to you. I love your little trips down here and just, you down here in Southern California and me, just driving a little ways to come have a meal, catch up, take a video.
Even though it's in the hotel room while my husband's out with the girls, doing a little bit of shopping, and my makeup looks bad. But
you know what? That's the other thing. It's like, we are so hard on ourselves with our looks, and because I'm sitting here thinking, and I'm having a wonderful conversation, but how am I looking? We just need to be okay and have that self-love. And, we're not going to be perfect. We're not going to be, like we were at 20, right? And that's okay. We shouldn't be. That's not how life works, right? But, we have to be okay with us.
We have to be more authentic. I think if we, as one of my prior guests, Courtney McDermott said, take off that mask. Take off that mask and just be authentic. I think if we were more authentic and had a little more compassion and reached out, smile, ask people generally how they're doing, and hug people.
Yeah, for sure. And be open to those relationships that are unexpected like ours, right? I mean, there's no reason in the world that our common, friend and introduced us, and I came on your show a couple times, twice, it could have just ended there. And I was a guest on your show and that's it. But we fostered that relationship. We kept it going. We kept on interacting. And so,
as I have said in this week's episode and in one of my prior episodes, need to nurture those relationships. Nurturing is key.
Yeah. I'm going to cry. Thank you for you're hugging me. I didn't hug you. Oh, I love you so much.
I love you too.
All right.
Bye.
Wow, what a journey we had today. Janet has truly opened our eyes to the endless possibilities that can come from exploring every avenue to live your best life. Remember her words about meditation and trying everything. It's about those small, consistent steps that lead to big, impactful changes. If you want to dive deeper in today's conversation or revisit any part of our discussion, you can find the full transcript at createthebestme.com/EP077. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for a special episode of Create the Best Me. Be sure to come back next week when we'll be joined by your favorite midlife coach and the host of Midlife Out Loud podcast, Junie Moon. We'll explore transformative journeys towards self-love and creating fulfilling relationships. Until then, keep dreaming big. Take care of yourself and remember you are beautiful, strong, and capable of creating the best version of yourself. Thank you for watching. Catch you next week. Bye for now.